see the room that really sold Jackie on her new house when she was looking to buy. It's now her dining room, but it started out as a living room.
When I first saw this room, even with the owner's previous living room furniture in it, it really sold me. So we did renovate the room to some extent, added a lot of windows, really used the landscape as the vibe for the space. I think that's really important when you're designing a room. Now, I decided to change this room into a dining room, and this is where you can really mix it up. Instead of using a suite, break up your pieces, and that means look at what you have and maybe just use the buffet or use the table or use the chairs. If you don't have a great big picture window like I do, look at your window and don't worry about putting a piece of furniture in it. And also, think about using multiples of the same pieces. Now, I chose a beautiful bronze base that's really kind of angular with a slate top. And I like the fact that I use multiples, you can see through it, and it allows me to have a lot of surfaces. I like dining rooms to be eclectic. Now, in my own space, I mix lots of different things, like the lacquer of my black piano, golds, silvers, glass, concrete table, and even more traditional fabric chairs. And so find that common denominator, have some fun with it. Now, think about the artwork. What I try and do is find one wall and just go with big art. Now, in my case, I'm lucky to have a pond, and the pond actually is home to 2 herons that swoop in all the time. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a big piece of art like this heron in a beautiful blue, and it just is really personal for me. It's a little bit of fun. Now, the fireplace itself, it originally was stone. It's the original position of the fireplace and shape of the fireplace, but I clad it in a product called Dectin, which is a porcelain tile in 8mm thickness. And so it's very simple, very clean, very modern. Now, the opening is original. Did an open log gas fire and also decided to add a little sparkle and shine because it is rather small with a subway tile in a high gloss black. So that way you've got a lot of reflectance coming from all sides. It really gives a beautiful warm glow to the room.
We all saw the before, but you know, you walk into a space and you just get inspired by a room, and I think it's a good lesson for all of us that potential is the important thing. Yeah. So you've got to go into a space and see that it has potential, and then know that you can switch everything around and make it work for you.
Definitely.
Which is what you did.
But it definitely happens over time, and I think you have to live in the space. It took us a while to get permits.
Such a good don't renovate the first week.
True, because listen, that was a living room. It was going to be a living room. I had all of my furniture designed as a living room. Yeah. And then we realized that the actual flow of the space was better to have the kitchen and big family room upper level, and the dining room to be separate, because I knew that when we entertained, as a mid-century modern, so I had 2 levels. After the party's happening in the kitchen, I wasn't going to be sending people down into the living room. It would have split up the party. Yes. So that's why it became a dining room, and the windows. It was all about the view. There were big. That was the room that probably had the biggest windows. And we saw that as a potential for more windows and just creating, no tongue-in-cheek, the glass project, because you know, it was all about the glass, all about the view. Right. But it's an evolution for sure.
The other thing I noted in that tape, there is furniture obviously in front of the windows. Yes. You got to do it. So a lot of us are shy of breaking that rule, and there isn't any reason why you shouldn't put furniture up against a window, right guys?
Well, especially when I think glass is floor to ceiling, you don't have a choice. I mean, if there was a wall, sure, but it's your entire wall. Yeah, exactly. So breaking it up and giving some visual interest, I think, is beautiful.
And the piece that you chose, that you could see through, and then it becomes a piece of art almost. That was really, really pretty.
And I saw that. I like the symmetry of that as well. Now, just to, love the windows, but I got 3 dogs. So there's nose prints. Yeah. Oh, I'm a cleaning girl.
You're like Windex. Yeah.
I'm Dutch, I'm Canadian, but I'm cleaning. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You need to get them a little Swiffer that fits on their nose.
It's crazy.
That's so smart. Invent that.
There you go. Use those pets.
You have like hidden paper towel everywhere.
It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, that would drive me nuts. You need to know who you are. You also need to know if you do want to install windows like that. Obviously, if you're in the country, it's one thing. You can do windows everywhere. If you live in a municipality, you actually have to get permits for that sort of thing, because you can't have windows everywhere. Not just for privacy. I mean, I think it'd be fun to see my neighbors naked all the time. That'd be awesome. But it's more for they need to protect so that if something goes on fire.
Right now, she wants to see us naked. She said she wants.
I'm not going to say no. Yeah. It's more to protect from fire. If your place blows up, your fire can jump from house to house. So it's just the rule rules in effect.